have that awareness that, and gratitude that I'm here. This is what I have got, and this is what I can make, myself happy, my soul happy. I can connect with my own self.
mm,
This will eliminate, that self doubt,
yeah.
that you think that, ah, gosh, because as soon as you start thinking about, oh my gosh, I don't have this. I'm not living in this postcode. My car, I don't have BMW. I
Thanks for joining me today. I am really excited that you are here. Are you faced with self doubt? Do you have all these beautiful goals, beautiful dreams, beautiful ideas, but you're not bold enough to start implementing them? You're not bold enough to sit down and plan and structure how you would start implementing them because one or two people have said that, I don't think you can do this. Or because you have actually judged yourself even before starting anything or before setting out to achieving those goals. Unfortunately, sometimes in our lives, we're faced with self doubt in our marriages, in our jobs, in getting our dream jobs, in starting a business. We do not believe we can do it because we are faced with self doubt. Unfortunately, it is not healthy. So many people have lived their life doubting themselves, and time is never on our side. You see, we doubt ourselves, we doubt even the people around us, we doubt our colleagues, we doubt our children, we doubt our friends. Are you in that situation? Are you in that situation where you do not believe in what you can do? You do not believe in your own potentials. Today we're going to be talking about it, and we're going to be sharing some hacks on how to overcome self-doubt. Barbara, she's been a guest here before. She's here again. She's going to share tips on how to overcome self-doubt. Barbara is the CEO of Moonlight Educational Consultant. She has so many years of experience where she has actually failed. She's picked up herself and she's achieving great results now. You see, she's an example of you achieving your goal, aiming for excellence, even in times where you have failed. Barbara will be sharing her thoughts with us. She'll be sharing tips on how you can believe in yourself and improve your esteem and being yourself and making yourself happy. Overall, being the best version of yourself. Can we have Barbara Ajay Mensah? Thank you so much, Barbara. Thanks for joining us today. I'm really excited to have you again. Yeah,
Thank you, Dr. Bola. It's a pleasure to be here.
thank
I
you.
like coming to your show.
I
Thank
know,
you.
I know. Thanks for your consistent support. Right. So I've done a little bit of introduction about you, and of course the viewers that know you. But straight to let's get to it straight away. There's this favorite quote of yours, failing forward. Can you tell me a little bit more? You've said that a couple of times when we've had conversations. And of course, today we are talking about self-doubt. And for every time you keep saying failing forward, failing forward. Can you just tell me a little bit more tell the audience a little bit more about this? So yeah.
Okay, so Failing Forward is this book I read is the author called Maxwell's um John C. Maxwell.
Okay.
And that book, actually, to just cut the fast forward, it's just that it's something that is, I mean, it's basically telling you that failing, basically, it's not a bad thing.
Mm,
It's something that is actually preparing you to
mm,
your destiny. Like, for instance, obviously, if you have a vision and you know that you want to achieve that, there's an obstacle, there's a, like a challenges that you will face, through that. And that, that's what the book is saying. Now, failing forward is a sort of a process of um, taking you to your destination, really. That's what it is.
wow. Yeah. And yeah, you see, we've all been in the states where we have failed. But the most important thing is the reason for this episode is we've all been in situations where we have ideas and we don't believe in ourselves. We doubt our own abilities. I'll share a quick story. Um I I have a friend who is currently a manager of a bank, and just she saw the advert, and of course she was not qualified to apply for the job, but she said while she was looking through the job, she wrote the requirements down, the job description, and I think it had about maybe 10, and she was able to tick 6 of them, and which she had, and she thought, okay, I can go ahead and apply for the job. And then she applied and she got an interview. You see, she when she received the invitation to the interview, she was really shocked and she did not believe in herself. So she decided not to go for the interview because she did not believe that she could actually get the job. And that was good enough. She, on her way to the interview, she was really terrified because she could not believe that she was going for that interview. And then she went into a coffee shop to have a coffee and already made up her mind, just close to the location of the interview. She made up her mind that she wasn't going to go anymore. And then, of course, we all do. We pick up the phone to call our sister or her mom or our partners. She called her mom and she said, "Oh, I'm not going for this interview anymore. I don't think I'm qualified. I'm not qualified for this interview." And her mom encouraged her and said, "Well, it's okay to try. It's an opportunity for you. Just go there and learn." And then she reluctantly went for the interview. To cut this long story short, she got there, she saw the other people, the other candidates. They had a whole day of assessment and all that, but she got the job. And the feedback was that she presented herself very well. She was very confident. She was outstanding. So initially, she didn't believe in herself. You see, we find ourselves in a situation where we don't believe in our capacity or our capabilities. We doubt ourselves. We're always judgmental about our own efforts, you see. So what is your advice when people find themselves in a situation where they doubt what they can do?
For me, obviously, we all know that, doubting is uncertainty. So when you're really sort of lack that confidence in yourself, thinking, oh, am I able to do this? I mean, look at me. I think with doubt, we have that it's a big and it's a complex sort of issue. It's not black and white. There's a big ideology in a society that you have to be a certain person to to um to do a certain things. You have to be in a certain way to do certain things. Actually, that's what I'm trying to say. And it's really fascinating how we internalize it at a young age. And when we have an idea, we try to look external
Hmm.
to think, am I able to do this? Am I the person, am I qualified to do? Am I the person to do I come from a background that I can do? Have I got qualification? you know am I pretty enough? Is my hair, am I slim enough? We sort of have all these thoughts coming, left and right. And then we feel like, oh, you have to be in a certain way, you have to be slim and tall to be a model. But one thing that I know for sure, there's a different type of modeling, and your hair might be, you can use your hair, to sort of do modeling, take a pictures, and you can get money for that. You can use your hands because it's pedicure, and other people can. You can also technically your face might be pretty, but your body is not what. So you can use your face. So there's other aspects, and everybody have something that they can actually, they can give. That's because obviously they can use it as a service for individual. But every single time, you know, I mean, I'm talking for myself now. Every time that we have opportunity, we sort of have a thought in our head, like pumping up before we go forward. Sometimes we just let the opportunity sort of go by because our doubt, because of our own sort of
Judgment of
low,
ourselves. Yeah.
exactly, and low self-esteem. I have encountered different sort of doubting, I, so to speak. I have go around in circle as to having a confidence basically to go forward, to take opportunity when it usually fell on my lap, because I always sort of have that doubt in my head, and thinking that, oh, I'm not good enough to do this. I don't come from rich home. I don't have this color. I don't speak in a certain way. And there's so many things. I remember, you know, um, coming to this country for the first time, and you're young and you're confused. And no, actually, you know what, I even, as much as like a sort of overwhelming experience, I have a confidence in myself that I can do something. But people around me that they're born here, got a big family, and most of them born here, or they came in when they were young, and their mom and dad are richer than my mom and dad, so they have a different way of thinking. And then they look at you and they think, oh, what makes you think that you can do this? So there's a one job I wanted to apply. One of my cousins told me that you can't get this job. Even my girlfriend, she's a British, she speak English, she got English accent, but she didn't get the job. Initially I was like, oh, I can't, but I filled the application form, I did my personal statement, I thought that, I have what it takes to go for that job. But because, my cousin started, saying these negative things, I started sort of thinking about it, and I couldn't even sleep the whole night. So I handed my application form in, and 2 days after, I had a phone call to come for an interview. And even when I was going to go for an interview, he said to me, oh, you're just wasting your time, you're not gonna get that job. Usually people don't get that job. And that, we used to live in a village, so it was a small town and rich people, and I just thought, okay, let me just go and try, because they've called me anyway. I went in there, be myself as I am, talk too much, whatever comes to my head, I don't even think about it, I just say it. And then talking, and then the manager, and then he said, where are you from? Where's your name from? I say Ghana. He said, I've lived in Ghana for 25 years. And then he started speaking my language. We started
Wow.
talking about Kenke. He said, you got the job. They gave me my uniform. And, so when I came home, I put the uniform on the dining table. And and all my documents they gave me, my contract, my induction time, I put on. And then my cousin came, was like, really? Yes. you know, and my little face and my skinny legs and my my African accent, I have got the job. Okay, so this is how doubt. I mean, and doubt, as much as they come in, you know, from us, sometimes we have ability and you know to do something, but because external
Mm.
sort of influence can have a significant impact on the way that you know we sort of say. For me, throughout my experience and the things I've gone through, I have four sort of um, effective way of overcoming self
Of that.
doubt. And my first one is vision.
Mm.
Technically, you know, even in the Bible, it says that you know, as a person without vision perish,
Mm.
you know, and that kind of, you know, if you don't know where you're going, you know, you can get lost.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, so but if you know your destination, it doesn't matter which way you go. You
Mm.
know, you can go around and around and around and around, but because you know that my destination is in, like, for instance, we are in Portsmouth, and you know that I'm going to West London, but
Mm.
you know, but I can't go on M25, but I can go on 83 and
Mm.
then cut across inside London and
Mm.
then go straight there because there's something happening on M25.
Yeah.
Or you can say, okay, this is West London. I can go on M4, cut across on M3, and then go on M25 and get to um, A40 and get to my destination. So, you know, there's a different avenue. As long as you know where you're going, you can go different places, and that's when the failing forward come in. And
Mm.
I think that when you don't have vision, then
Mm.
obviously that's when you start having that self doubt. If
Yeah.
anything happen, you just think, okay, I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not able to do this. You know, how am I going to do this? I don't have qualifications. So for me, when I remember I used to sort of talk through my thoughts
Mm.
and I tackle everybody with my ideas, but I wasn't doing anything. And
Mm.
every time, oh, I will just set up a childcare, you know, I will have a nursery.
Mm.
Or I have and one time my uncle said, you can't do anything, Meg.
You just
Could
keep
you,
talking.
you know, I just keep talking through my ideas because I had the ideas, you know, but I didn't know what to do. And he said, do you think that you were one of those people like you know, you can go on and do childcare? Do you think it's easy? There's an Ofsted in there, there's a lot of things. Just stop talking and carry on and just, you know, do whatever you want to do. What Superman, because I don't think that you'll be
Yeah,
able
to the just to the audience, if you've been in a situation where somebody has said you can't do it, just share your thoughts with us in the comment. Let us know, you know, what share your experience of where people have actually said, sorry, your idea is just going to go into the bin. You know, don't worry, just move forward, you know. And just to add to the when you're saying, there's this favorite quote I like. It was when I was younger, my sister was always saying, and it stuck in my head. And it says, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. You know, so when you don't know your purpose, when your vision and your purpose is very clear, written down, and critically thought through, you know, you should be able to control self-doubts.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, you know, and this is so when my uncle basically said, so when I started university, and I was obviously I was what's it called? I didn't go to university. Well, I went to university young. I couldn't actually survive. I dropped out, and so I was a mature student with my second degree. So everyone was in, a teenager, and I was in my 20s, to my late 20s, doing my first, well, technically my second degree. And so when I started my degree, my uncle, for me, like you said, what do you do when someone says that you're not able to do this? Your ideas is nothing. So one thing that for me, it's always, it's like a challenge that when someone say no to me, I might cry. So, it's a form of rejection. So I might cry, and sometimes, especially when I didn't have emotional intelligence and I didn't understand that. Okay, saying no doesn't mean that ever. And maybe that person is saying no because they have no idea, or you are, you're wrong time with wrong person, and this is their own discretion. It's not necessary that you can't achieve your goal, or your ideas is nothing. When I didn't know that, I used to cry, but then within my cry, I know that I would show this person that I can do, and that basically gave me that kind of confidence to find any other way. If it meant that I have to stay overnight, to if it's about reading, or to read that thing about 10 times, memorize it, I would do it. I would do it, and get it done. And that's one of the things that I think I've got inside me, that when I read the Failing Forward, it really sort of confirmed that I have ability, to pursue my vision, and move forward. And so I think like the first, the vision, the the way basically to move forward with your vision is sort of turn the outside noise,
Mm,
and have that, like a tunnel vision,
mm,
and know that this is where I'm going. I know that you're entitled to your opinion. This is what you're saying, so this is what I know that I can do, and this, I'm going to go forward and get this done. And
mm.
whatever you're saying is none of my business. What
Absolutely.
you think of me is none of my business. And so I started writing things that, in fact, I had a book that I drew. My childcare was going to be, like my after school club. There will be a swimming pool in there. There's the children, they will sleep over,
Wow.
So I started, and I know that that one will come because I have to start somewhere. So I started writing all this down. When I started writing, when I actually put on a paper in that book, and do my drawing and my building, and wherever that, obviously it wasn't there, but that's the idea. I put it down. And that's when I had ability to sort of do a research and find out, this is what I'm going to do with this. In order for me to get this done, this is the path that I have to go through.
Hmm.
I have to register with Ofsted. I have to actually find a place,
Hmm.
and I have to sort of do my website. I have to start um, talking to parents. So when all these things, you know, when I started putting all these things together, and for me, obviously, like we talked, previously, getting to your destination and executing your vision, basically, it doesn't mean that you have to go on one way. You should be able to know, different direction. If this one doesn't go well, you can go this way. If this one, that's the thing that I think you need to sort of um be aware. That awareness is really significant to take you to your destination. Um, to whatever that you want to achieve in terms of, I mean, to overcome your self doubt. You need to turn the outside noise. You need to sort of write everything down, and you need to systematically, you know, find out what you can do next to, you know, a bit by bit, finish one, you know, one step at a time in order for you to get to where you're going. And I
Yeah,
think that
and I think that when you're writing, then writing those your ideas and having a proper structure and looking at it critically and trying to, it helps you identify problems, potential problems that you might face, and then you're able to come up with plans on how to solve those problems. In the process of doing that, you begin to build confidence, and you begin to build, because of course you are able to foresee those problems ahead, and you are able to think of possible solutions if you have to redirect or make different alternate plans. You see, for me, I think that it helps while you're doing that, it helps build your confidence. Hmm.
Is very essential to write things down, you
Hmm.
know, and usually, so look, see, if as I'm talking to you now, okay, I feel like I didn't prepare really properly, you know, to polish my words and, you know, and systematically put it out there. And in the middle, I was really sort of getting nervous and going on a different direction. And I've just organized my thought now, and I know that I can actually give my best because I'm a student of life, and within everything you can learn within a short time, and
Yeah.
every sort of every problem that you encounter create another ideas,
Hmm.
and it create another sort of topic or whatever that you do. Every direction that you go, it will create something that you didn't know before that
Hmm.
you will know throughout, you know, the process. When we were writing things down, I realized that I have to do like a small, you know, pilot to find out what parents even think about my vision, and
Hmm.
if they will come to, you know, like and anything that they want to really add. So I did in Summerstown, I did, you know, like that research for sort of, I think, a few hours, and I had about 20 parents that I talked to, and they really, really sort of did like the idea. And I just thought, okay, so this is really good. So that's when I started, you know. So I feel like you said, you have to really sort of know where you're going
Hmm.
and then go, because if you don't know where you're going, you will get lost. You will not know where to go. My second sort of second
Just before you go into your second point, and this is to the audience, have you in one way or the other failed in trying your own idea, and how did you feel? Do you want to share your thoughts in the comments with us so that we can, I want to read your comments on where you have actually structured your plans and you have failed and how you felt about it, or how you were able to pick up. We'll come up to that later while Barbara shares her second point. Yeah.
so my second point is basically passion. You
Hmm.
know, I think we intend to chase the hot trend business, you know, going on outside. And then everyone sort of think that they have to follow that business, you know, this is what is going on. They don't have passion for that, they don't know what's going on, and they think that, oh yeah, if this person, this is what's going on. Everyone's selling tomatoes now, so I have to go and sell tomatoes. Everyone's selling, you know, and then they go in and they fail. And that's when the doubt starts. And then they start thinking, oh, I'm not good enough to do this, you know, because these things are, in order for you to go out there to pursue something, it should be your purpose, something that comes from inside before it go outside. So if you don't have passion for something, you know, it can be really, really hard to go forward, and you can doubt yourself, that it can kill your self-esteem think that's the word I'm using for, I mean, I'm looking for. If you don't have passion for something, when you get tough, this can kill your self-esteem,
Mm.
because you will start doubting yourself. You
Yeah.
will start thinking, I'm not good enough, because you think that I failed, or this is really hard, or I don't really know what to do. And this is my own personal experience. When I started obviously doing my company, a we have different sort of programs that we sort of doing. So with the childcare, we have to register with Ofsted. And my first sort of process, registration with Ofsted, I failed. They didn't register me. And do you remember I cried? I cried to the core. And, I passed everything. But a few feedback that I had from them. One of them wasn't my fault, but two of them was the fact that I thought I wasn't doing this, so why do I have to learn this? With the preschool, I wasn't doing babies, I was doing 3, to 5. So why do I have to go on and learn babies? My risk assessment, we have different rooms in that place, and going upstairs in a sports halls, it's quite sort of far, and you have, I think, 4 flights of stairs to go up there. And I didn't do any risk assessment.
Mm.
So I failed on that one. So I cried and I was so disintegrated, and I just felt like, even as much as I had a passion to do this, because I've always wanted to do this. I didn't just see copying someone, because my USB is completely different from everyone that doing childcare, because we got the way that holistically, and it's so pragmatic as well. So we're not actually following anyone sort of, this is everyone sort of do after school club, pick the children from school, and that's it. For us, we pick the children from school, we support them with maths and English, we talk to the teachers, we give them food, they go basic piano lessons, they go swimming. There's different things. Our activity is completely different, because I felt like I can give these children something that when their parents probably are not able to do it, because they might be at work or they can't afford, and we can actually put things together, one package that it can give them, like middle class, if the child is from working class parents and they can afford to do that, then we can support them, and they can have all these sort of incentives. And so when I didn't pass, I mean, when they didn't register me, it was heartbreaking. I felt like, oh my gosh, I couldn't motivate myself anymore. I could not start doubting myself.
Mm.
And then I picked myself up, and I have to have my self discipline back, because this is really tough. It's a really hard work. You can't just say that I'll get up in the morning and then I'll just create this. You have to be consistent and persistent, and you have to find motivation somewhere to go forward. And I just thought, you know what, I'm in the middle of this, I'm not going. So I think about, the difference that I can make in one parent's life, even if I can pick, even if it's one child, and I can make a difference, then I would just, do it. So I decided that I'm not going to let this go down the drain.
Hmm.
So, I
So that was
started
sort of the motivation for you, because you were more of the impact and making impact in and the kids and their family lives. So that was sort of the drive that helped you to come out of that state of where you felt, oh, I have failed, and then you try to start using those opportunities to get better. Mm.
Yeah, I just thought that, okay, I have failed now, but I still have a passion to work with these children and their family, and I'm not going to sort of stand back, and I'm not going to let my own thoughts and the way other people, because I remember the place I was doing it is my own church, and some of the people, they didn't believe me that, oh, I don't think that she can, not in so many words, but their actions and the way they were really sort of, the way they respond to me, their interaction and the questions they were asking me was it was, you know, it was, it was,
demoralizing. It makes you start doubting yourself per se, you see.
it was taking all my confidence away. And every time I have a conversation with those particular people, I decided, like I had this sort of anxieties, like coming home. Oh, I don't think I'm able to do
To
this.
do
Who
this.
am I to do that? I don't think so. But I will still carry on with my passion. I was still thinking about what my vision that I had in my head, how I want to execute this, how I want to help these parents, how I want to have a childcare that no one has ever, had it. So I will try my best and do it. I registered, again, and that was money.
Wow.
That was also exhaust, like a sort of hard work that I had to start everything again. I had basically 45 folders with essentials that it goes with it. And but then I sat in here in my kitchen table, and every morning, quarter to 5, after my morning devotion, and then I'll go for my run, and I do my reading, come back for my breakfast, and I'll start working. I used to start working from here like I'm going to office. So I start work at 8 a.m. Okay, and every 2 hours I have 20 minutes break, and then a bit by bit I
So you
put
sort of came with discipline as well.
exactly. So I don't think that you can actually, do anything without discipline,
Mm.
because if you're not consistent with what you're doing, I don't think that you'll be able to achieve anything. So you must be consistent, and everyone can do anything if you put your mind together and you do it. I used to read this book, Brian Tracy, and he's talk about the effectiveness of time management,
Mm.
and time management is not just we see it black and white. It's really really important. It develop your self-esteem, because if you manage time, you'll be able to get things done. And he talk about the finishing targets. Every targets that you actually finish and you take, it gives you it boosts your self-esteem, and it makes you actually clever. It makes you feel like, oh my god, I've achieved this, I was able to do this, I've taken that down. And so I think that all these things come together. When you have all these things together, then you'll be able to eliminate that kind of self-doubt, because you're not rushing around. You're able to finish your targets, and the more you finish in your targets, the more you're going forward. I've written a books, but it's not published. I haven't actually published those books. But before then, before um I had those books basically, saved, I didn't know how I was going to go about it. But as soon as I started using the time management, I was able to write, like, every day I do a paragraph or even a page every day. And I've written three children books, a cookbook, and I'm in the process of doing one of my books that is so special that
I know. I was going to talk about it. You can
yeah.
eat smoked salmon even if you live in the council flats.
So who says that you can't eat smoked
Yeah.
salmon? I mean, when you're living in a council flat.
Mm.
And basically, what I'm implying is you can do anything. Don't let ideology in a society sort of tell you who you can be. Who you can be, it comes from you.
Mm.
What you can be, is in, is the ideology in a society. So technically, when you have a passion to do something, don't think about, what other people are telling you. Don't think about, oh, because I live in this postcode, or maybe because my mom is not rich. Your mom richness, if it can't, or your parents technically richness cannot take you to where you're going, regardless. You need your own sort of purpose in order to live, because if you don't have purpose, I don't think that you can be really happy, regardless of how much money that you have in the bank. So yeah, so that's my second point.
Yeah, to the audience listening, you want to share your thoughts with us of times where you feel the society have actually put pressure on you to doubt what you can do. And then even if you know that your dreams, you have a passion for it, the environment in which you find yourself has sort of reduced your self-esteem, and you begin to doubt yourself. So share your thoughts with us. Share your thoughts with us in the comments, and yeah, we're going to read it. So yeah, do you want to share your thought points with us on how to control your self-doubt when you find yourself in this situation?
I think that my third point is basically competition. Like, in order to eliminate self-doubt from your life, you need to avoid competing with others. I think that what is really important, that knowing what your capabilities are, knowing your path, it's a essential way of eliminating self-doubt. And I think there's so many times we compare ourselves to our siblings,
Yeah,
we compare ourselves to our friends, we compare ourselves to strangers that we see on a social media,
yeah.
and then we start thinking, oh my gosh,
I
if
I
I
absolutely agree with you. For a long time, I struggled with that as well. Even when I knew and had an understanding that I was good at what I did, but I still compared myself with people around me, even when I had an understanding that I was confident. But the moment I started comparing myself with others, I start drawing back, and start doubting myself.
I think that's the key words. As soon as like you said, you just go backwards. As soon as you start comparing yourself, then you don't have that kind of ability or joy, to pursue your own sort of vision. I remember, I've always, I I'm always seen as a devil child, like a, because um I sort of know what I want, and I don't care what you have and who you are. And that comparison, it's not something that I really sort of what's the word? It's not something that me per se, I sort of follow other people's footsteps. That's not for me. I've always be who I am. Asantua, the one I can eat what I want to eat. I can wear what I want to wear. I don't follow any fashion. I
You
don't
can
care.
you can eat your smoked salmon anywhere.
I'll smoke exactly. I go to M&S and buy my smoked salmon,
Yeah.
human caviar. I don't care. I don't care, as long as I use my money for me. And one thing I do is, when I get paid, I need to get. It's not about shoes. It's not about expensive bag, or trending Louis Vuitton bag or whatever. It's about what I want to put in my mouth. So I will go a, a very expensive restaurant. or I go to Waitrose, M&S, and collect something that, okay, this is what I want to eat. I worked hard. I don't care where I worked. What I know is, I can
I look
afford to.
after myself.
Pardon, yeah. So I want to enjoy myself. I think that, like comparing yourself to others, it makes you feel like you're not good enough. And everyone have their path. And we sort of, um sometimes we think that, oh, we have to go, we have to be like that, um conservative way. Like, for instance, you have to finish university, get married, buy your house, and that's the way to live. Buy a big
That's
car.
what the society has actually put in our head, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the conventional way of living. And if your life is not like that, if you have a child early, if you're not able to go to university on time, you start doubting yourself. You start thinking that, oh gosh, I'm not able to do this because you didn't follow that systematic sort of approach, and now you think that you're behind. But this is one of the two things that I can say. So you have a child when you're about 16 years old, okay? Now, your friend that you're looking at, so now your child has finished, secondary school, finished sixth form, they gone to university, you live alone, you have nothing to do, right? Your friends that they went to university, now they're doing school run. There's so many things they're doing, but you have a long time. I mean, not a long time. You have like a time to yourself, and you can do things that perhaps you didn't do when you were doing school run, okay? But usually people don't think that way, because obviously you're going to retire together. All of you are going to be 60.
Yeah.
But it's what you use your time for. And that's when, like, you're sowing what you're sowing, that's when you will actually get to later. And this is what I look at things in. I don't compare myself to anybody, so I don't have that self-doubt. If you have a good house, well, I live in a council flat, but I've got everything in here. There's a fridge in here, I've got a little laundry room, I've got a kitchen, I've got a toilet, I've got things that it's I mean it's the same as what the other person,
Living in a big mighty mansion.
you know and a very nice posh postcode, but I still got what it takes, to be um a reasonable person in a society. Because it's and I'm not saying a homeless person is not a reason, like a reasonable person, or they're not, if you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But what I'm trying to say is, I've got a roof over my head,
Yeah.
I'm able to pay my bills, I've got all my necessity. So why do I have to compare myself to you?
Yeah.
I need to know where I'm going and then pursue that. I need to utilize my time
Time.
and the skills and experience that I have got, in order to get there. Because maybe one day I can use, my seed that I'm sowing. I can buy my house in cash in any area, anywhere, Africa, you know, here, America. I can put the money on the table and say, listen, I'm paying my house in cash. And I think that that's the thing, that we look at that way. Or even if I'm not able to do that, I need to look at this way, that I have achieved a lot. Because, maybe utilize my time, or even with the maybe the life or circumstances that it's actually held me back, that I couldn't go um, through that conventional way. I have learned a lot.
Yeah.
Or if I didn't go through that way, maybe I wouldn't have been here, like alive. So perhaps I need to be grateful and then show gratitude that I'm alive, I've got roof over my head, and I can actually have my necessity and whatever that I have in my mind, I can go ahead and pursue it rather than comparing myself to other people and thinking that I'm not good enough and thinking that even if I want to start something, I'll think about my age. Oh gosh, I'm too old to do this. I'm not able to do that. I don't have ability. Oh, I'm not applying for this job. Look at me. I'm not slim or I'm not really light skinned. Oh, my hair is not long enough.
I know, and those are the sort of things the society actually put in our heads, isn't it? Mm?
Yeah, they put in our head to make us think that we have to be somebody in order to do a certain things. If you're not this person, you don't look this way, and you're not wearing wigs, a long wig. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't have money. I don't wear, I don't wear wigs because I can afford to buy wigs. Okay, and also perhaps it doesn't suit me. That's not my thing. But it means that so I can actually go out there and get a certain job or do a certain thing. And I think that's where the fashion and the trend and looking at other people and making us feel like we're not good enough and we're not able to do the same things is what it creates that self doubt as soon as you start looking at the other person. And there's this says that like even when you're running and you turn back, as soon as you turn back, you just realize that, oh my gosh, the other person will just run past you
Past you, yeah,
because
absolutely.
because you feel like, yeah, um I have to check what you're doing so I can
Yeah, so
sort of.
to the audience, do you want to keep sharing your thoughts with us? Share your thoughts with us in the comments on times where you've been faced with situations where you're comparing yourself with other people, and then you maybe you actually identify that, why am I comparing myself with this person? You know, or you're doubting yourself because Mr. A or Mr. B, you have the same dream, and maybe you're not on the same you're not, your times are different, your, how to say, so share your thoughts, share your comments with us, and yes, let's learn from you as well. Yeah, and yeah, what's your fourth point? Yeah, to your fourth point, Barbara. Yeah.
My first point, obviously, is actually sort of in continuation of this interlink. Um, you just have to be happy and grateful for what you have.
Yeah.
Uh, as soon as you start sort of um, have that awareness that and gratitude that I'm here. This is what I have got, and this is what I can make, myself happy, my soul happy. I can connect with my own self. This will eliminate, that self doubt,
Yeah.
that you think that, ah, gosh, because as soon as you start thinking about, oh my gosh, I don't have this. I'm not living in this postcode. My car, I don't have BMW. I have C1 like me with the plaster on his back. Well, by the way, my car I call David. It can take me anywhere. It can kill,
I know.
like
I love going in your car anyway.
and take a mess in there. Um,
I know. I know, that's what we do, isn't it? Make a mess in Barbara's car, and
it's the
But
comfortability,
but we're happy, isn't it? We get to where we
exactly.
want to go to, we have fun, we do all the stuff, and yeah, you know, life is
Exactly.
life is about being happy. And I think, yeah, a friend of mine sent a video to me. earlier today, and it was like, why do we hold so much things in our hearts? We put so much burden on ourselves and forget that we need to be happy. When do you want to be happy? When? When is the time you want to buy this house, you want to buy this car, you want to do this, you want to do that, and you put so much pressure on yourself. And then you forget to ask yourself, why am I trying to do all this? Be grateful that you have food on your table. Be grateful that you are alive. You know, make yourself happy. And then all other things, be grateful to God, and all other things shall be added.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I think that, the idea that we think someone eating different chicken from the one that we got from Asda, really amazing. It's the same chicken, is how you cook it, that it makes difference. It's
Yeah.
not an idea that we think that, oh, I'm going to get Iceland food that is completely different from, whatever you think, oh, these people, what they're eating is better than what I remember one time, my sister and I we followed our friends that, like, they rich, to go somewhere, and afternoon tea party. We used to go there a lot. And every time you just go in there, and then tea party, afternoon tea. And we go there, it's just this dry scone with a little sandwich, and because you're going to this hotel, that you think it's just so amazing, and you just want to go in there and sit there, and everyone thinks that you're going there. But anytime you go and spend that £18 or £20, then we get so upset coming back, and then we start talking about, did we go and eat this dry, cheese sandwich, or dry scone with jam and cream in it? Then we can make it nice food.
Can
Or you
probably
can,
pop into Tesco and buy jam and scone and spend less than £2 or £3, isn't it? To
you
get
know, or or even go to M&S. M&S, yeah, you can spend £5 to have that scone in the jam, and it would taste better than what we used
what
to
you have.
go and
Mm.
£18 ahead with this tea and sponge cake. That I can make a scone, I can make a sponge cake, I can make. But I know that that sort of social life is fine, but it wasn't a good social life. It was a social life to show people that,
Yeah,
oh,
to
we
show off. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
we can go
And
here.
that's the mistake a lot of people make. They want to show off to people. What are you showing off? And somebody was saying to me, the people you are showing off to they don't even see you at all. So why are you bothering yourself? You're showing off. You're actually putting yourself in a position where where you buy things that you cannot afford. Buy them, and you owe money, and show off to people that do not even see you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we don't live within our means, and I think that
absolutely.
what it really sort of d- being happy and being grateful for what you've got, eliminate all the doubts, and then the bad thoughts that goes through in your head, so you know that, okay, this is where I live, but in fact I like my house, because I'd rather stay in this council flat and pay cheap money, because now this is what I can afford to pay. So
Mm.
therefore, I need to make this place as nice as the terror house that you can buy down South Sea, and yet you know you might not be able to sort of clean your house, or you might not be able to sort of maintain it as a home, and perhaps it would drive you to go out there to work maybe 24/7 in order to pay the mortgage.
Mm.
But why don't you just be happy with
Happy, and be
what you
contented, with what you have. Yeah, to
Exactly.
everyone watching, stop doubting yourself, have clear vision. Stop comparing yourself with other people, you know. Write your plans down. Let it be clear. Have a clear structure of what you intend to do, because it helps you achieve those dreams. You're able to identify potential problems when you have those structure, and you actually going, it helps you in that path to achieve those goals. It builds your confidence. It builds your confidence. And just like as Barbara said, do not do what other people are doing. Do not do what the society is asking you to do. You do what you are passionate about, because when you are passionate about something, you never get tired. You never get tired of doing that thing you are passionate about, and it drives you. It drives you, because you never get you just want to sit down there. Somebody says to me that, oh, you always sitting on your computer, but that's what I love. That's what I love to do, and I forget about. Well, I try to use my time, but sometimes I forget because I love it. So when you're doing something you are passionate about, you are not tired. You're not tired. So make sure that you put yourself in a position where you are happy and you are contented with what you have. Thank you so much, Barbara. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for sharing those tips. I hope this session has been very, very useful to those who are watching. I hope that henceforth from today, when you're faced with situation where you doubt your ideas, you'll be able to make best use of the points that Barbara has shared with us, and you can achieve your purpose. You can achieve that life goal, that goals, those where you want to be. You find yourself in a position where you aim for, where you have set your objectives. Thank you so much, Barbara. Thanks for joining us today. And yeah, we hope to see you some other time.
Thank you for having me. It was great. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Yes, see
Bye.
you later. Bye. Thanks to Barbara for sharing those tips with us. If you find yourself in a situation where you doubt your idea, you doubt those dreams that you have, you doubt your passion, sit down, write them down, and do not compare yourself with every other person. Be happy, believe in yourself. Switch off to everything that is trying to be an obstacle to that idea that you have, and take the first step. Have a clear plan, have a structured plan. If you have found this very useful, like I said, share this to your family and friends, to those people that need to hear this, to help guide them in achieving their life purpose, in achieving their dreams. Share this with your family, share this on your social media page, on your Facebook, on your Instagram. Share it to everyone that needs to watch this and learn, and so that it helps us achieve our dreams and be the best version of ourselves. If you have any question, or you have questions that you want us to treat, or topic that you want us to address, please feel free to email me. The email is on the screen. And thank you. Thanks for making time. Thanks for watching this. And yes, I am really happy to see you here. And I am super excited that this episode will be of use to you and will help you to be the best person that you intend to be. Thank you. This is Dr. Bola Adeyeye Omishade, and I'll see you in my next episode.